I'm Colt Stevens with Horseshoe Firearms. I'm the vice president here, and today we're going to be going over the ATF form 4473. So I've got a copy of the form right here. You can see what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the front page and signing and dating on the second. This goes over the customer's portion of the 4473. I won't touch on what we do as a business on the 4473 until another video. But today I'll go over your portion. So what we're going to start with, to preface this, we're talking about the 4473. This is a federal document, so there is a penalty if you fill it out incorrectly. So you need to be sure your answers are truthful. And whenever we check your answers, what we're doing is we're looking at your driver's license. So we're going to get started here. The first question is going to be your last name. On here, they want it exactly as it appears on your driver's license. Here in North Carolina, it's going to be like if your name is John Doe. So it's going to be Doe goes here. So I'll go ahead and write that. So you'll just indicate right there exactly as it is on your driver's license. If you're John Doe the third, you'll put 3 right here. So there we are. It's exactly as it appears on your driver's license is what we're looking for. Okay, so then in the second blank, we're going to indicate John as your first name. So there we see you'll be John Doe, and in this case we'll say you don't have no middle name. So we'll say no middle name right there. So they tell you on the form to indicate NMN for no middle name. And that's your name. So that's the first portion done. That's item number 1. The second item, we're going to be going over your address. So we'll say 123 Fake Road, which should be your real road. It should not be a made up one. It's whatever's on your driver's license, and that's what I look for. The city, we'll put example city. County is example county. Whatever's on your driver's license is what we're going for. State, we'll put NC since we're in NC. And your zip code, whatever that happens to be, as indicated on your driver's license. So that's item number 2. You can see what we've done here. Road, city, county, state, and zip code. Now it's important to know county is not country. I do see that every now and then. This has to match your driver's license, whatever that is. If you've changed your address, you can go and request a change of address form. I will need to see that if it's different. Otherwise, just put whatever's on your driver's license because I legally have to match that. So then we'll move on. Item number 3, city and state of birth. So you can either indicate in this country, U.S. city and state, or foreign country. So we'll put Horseshoe NC for here. So that's item number 3. That can be anywhere in the U.S. states or territories, either one. Foreign country, you just put, like, I've seen Germany, I've seen the UK. You just indicate that right here. Just the country, you don't need the city as well. So then, item number 4, we'll put the height. So we'll say 6'0". Then they ask you for weight. We'll say 200. They ask you for your gender. We'll say male. Birth date. If you're buying a rifle, this is kind of a political issue today, but if you're buying a rifle or a shotgun, any long gun, you have to be 18 years old. Or if you're buying a pistol, you have to be 21. If you're buying a lower receiver, like for an AR-15, or you're buying a short shotgun like a Mossberg Shockwave. You have to be 21 and a 6-month resident. 21, you can pretty much get anything. 18, shotgun and rifle only. And I'll just leave that blank for this example. Number 8, your social security number. So on that, if you're buying a rifle or a shotgun, it does make a difference. We always encourage people to do that when you're running the next check, which is for a rifle or a shotgun. If you have your concealed carry, you don't really need to do that. That's why it's optional. The same goes for the UPIN, your unique personal identification number. If you ever get a next check run and it comes back delayed immediately or it comes back denied, you can petition the FBI for a unique personal identification number. Usually we see that when someone's got a common name. So like in this example, we're talking about John Doe. That name probably has committed a lot of crimes. So what we're going to say is, you probably would need a UPIN to get immediately approved. The only thing with that is they're going to save your information. It's like whenever you run an X check and that takes forever, like we'll say 5 days, you get delayed. And after 5 days, it comes back approved. To avoid that wait, they'll just save the result. And that's what they give you this UPIN for. They're just saving your previously run information because by law they can't save it. They have to run it as if it was a new check every time. So now we'll run over to number 10. This is a 2-part question. They ask you your ethnicity and race. You do have to answer both. If you're me, you're going to check not Hispanic or Latino and white. So that would be the results for me. I don't need your ancestry DNA results. I don't need every box checked. I just need approximately what you are. We'll skip over these. These are pretty much self-explanatory. You just read it, check whichever box applies to you. I'll touch on the first one. You, in order to fill out this form, you must be buying it for yourself. You must be the actual buyer. So if you're walking out the door with it, you should be yes. You cannot buy a rifle or a shotgun or really any firearm for another person. That would be a straw purchase. And if you indicate to me during our transaction that you might not be the actual buyer, I'm not going to sell to you. If you're buying for somebody else, I cannot sell to you. But as long as you are the actual purchaser, it's intended for you, that one is going to be yes. The ones after that, pretty self-explanatory. You should be able to figure that one out on your own. Those are the prohibitors. If you've done anything that would disqualify you from purchasing a firearm of any sort, you'll have to indicate that on there. And keep in mind, this is a federal form, so you should be filling this out correctly by penalty of the law. So then we'll come down to this one. This is item number 12, country of citizenship. Most of the time, it's going to be U.S. If not, you can also indicate right here. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen to buy a gun here. There are certain exemptions. You can be here for sporting. You can be here for tournaments. You can even buy to export if you really want to. That's a whole nother process, but you can do that. We'll just have to run the next check like you're buying a rifle or a shotgun. Or sometimes they'll issue you a concealed carry, and you can even buy a pistol if you're not a citizen of this country. So then they ask you some more questions about your citizenship. I'll touch over these real quick with you. Have you ever renounced your U.S. citizenship? That's up to you. If you mark yes, I can't sell you the gun. So we'll go ahead and say no. Are you an alien illegally or unlawfully in the United States? If you're here illegally, you can't partake in this right, so this would be no. Are you an alien who has been admitted to the United States under a non-immigrant visa? That one should also be no. And if you've marked U.S. citizen in 12A, so we're talking about this one right here, this one is automatically NA. So we'll mark NA right here. So then we'll turn the page. And the last item on this form that the customer is going to fill out is you're going to sign right here and date right there. And this is today's date, the certification date. So that's all for this. If we run an X check and it gets delayed, when we'll come back, we'll have you sign right here and date right here. This is just indicating that it's a different day that you're actually picking it up and walking out the door with it. So with that, that's your portion on the 4473. Stay tuned for more videos and check the link in the description and like and subscribe.